Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm back with the recipe mukbang. Yay! It's not really even a recipe, I guess. It's almost like just a preparation of how I cook my favorite or one of my favorite soybean paste soup. If you love Korean food, I just feel like this is like very easy for you. But for those who wants to try making soybean soup at home but they don't know where to start, okay, this is the video for you. Not too long ago, it's been like a little while, I guess, I discovered this this flavor soybean paste. Looks like this. It's flavored with, or it's seasoned, extra seasoned with clams and crab, blue crab, and let me tell you, this will change your world. This will change your soybean soup world. It's definitely not like the most original. And it's not the most authentic feel, especially if you grew up with like your grandma cooking soybean paste for you, then this, I don't know, maybe it might not be for you, but for 2022 I think this is the shit. Yeah, I'm gonna start with some water before I start cooking. I'm so thirsty. So this is 2% 부족할 때 refreshing water 2%. There's not much. It looks like water, but it has like a tint of peach. Mm. Anywho, I feel like it's been a while since I did this kind of like cooking mukbang, like a cookbang, but I feel more confident these days. I think it's the age. I think the older you get, you just, either you don't just give a shit, you just don't give a shit, or you just feel confident. Maybe those two kind of go hand in hand, I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna keep this simple. I'm gonna start with some water. I'm going to start with like a little bit of water. I might add more, but I am going to add lots of tofu, which creates more water, and some vegetables. So let's start with a little bit, and then I'm going to add this pepper paste. Wow, that's very strong. I'm going to start with this much. It's always better to start less, in my opinion, when it comes to cooking, because you could always add more, but you can't take it out. Go. I think we could do a little bit more, like much more. Okay. I'm very excited for this. You know how I have half of my hair down? The secret is that this little, I forgot the word, this little clip cannot hold all of my hair. I have so much hair, and people, or like older people, actually told me that you are blessed because once you get older you're gonna start losing a lot of it. So I'm hoping for that one day where I realize, or I feel that, oh, I have a lot of hair compared to other people. So you could definitely use like a strainer if you don't want to do this manually like me. But I don't really care, because I realized eventually they just kind of break down. When I was in Korea and my mom used to like make like soybean paste soup for us, there were times where she would add like ground beef or some kind of beef in there, and you know, as a child, like we all love meat, right? So I was like always looking for that little chunk. Little did I know that was a chunk of soybean paste. I was so traumatized that day. Like you just like bite into just like right now if I do it I'm like oh whatever, but as a child you just don't want to taste that. Yeah. Okay, I think let's see. I don't know. I'm going to add a little bit more. Actually, the thing with this soybean paste, the more you add, more the merrier. Okay. I think this is fine. Okay, I think I could start with tofu. I usually, sometimes I used to add tofu later, but I really like them soaked in with all the soybean paste and all the flavor, so I'm going to add these first. Okay. And then I'm going to add my vegetables. I'm going to add my seafood last. Although for today's video I will be eating this as soon as it's done cooking. But the thing with like kimchi stew, kimchi stew and soybean paste stew is that they taste so much better day after. Or even 2 days after. They just taste so much better. Yes. Oh, and thankfully the enoki mushroom price went down by a lot. It was borderline frightening to see how expensive the enoki mushrooms were. Like a few months ago it was like almost $6-7 for this. Right now it's $2.99, which is not bad. It used to be $1.99 as far as I remember. So $2.99, I'll take it. Okay. Also, this is kind of optional, but I love adding pepper flakes. I like the fine ones, but if you only have the thicker ones or like the chunkier one, that's fine as well. To add more, whatever. Just want good spice. Okay, and for our protein, besides the tofu, we have clams and oysters. Oh my gosh, have you tried there's a fly right there. Have you tried oysters in soybean paste soup? It's pretty good, y'all. Okay. So if you guys look at the clams, it's still icy, but these are actually broth, I think. Like the juice that tastes like clam. Like a clam juice, I don't know. So that's why I don't try to wash it off. Nice. This looks so good. Okay. While we wait, I got some SUSHI. Oh, voila! Voila, voila! Okay. I have my soy sauce. Where should I put it? I know you can't see anything right now, but I'm gonna add some wasabi. Okay. Can you see better now? Okay. I'm going to start with ika, which is squid, raw squid. I'm sorry you guys can't see, I just don't have any space. it. That's fun. Okay, let's redo this one. That was such a fail. I just don't have a lot of space. I gotta savor this. There's only one in here. I think this one is... It's not red snapper. Yellowtail? No. Maybe it is red snapper. Okay. Oh, my another favorite. This is hokigai. Just like a giant clam, I think. Okay. I'll lower the heat just a little bit. I'm just gonna stir the soup into every corner. Oh man, it's so fire. Gosh, so good. Wow. Adding extra seafood in here is just... Okay, I think if my zucchini cooks a little longer, or if it's like, yeah, it's still pretty raw looking, pretty hard, so I'm going to let this boil a little bit more. I'm going to just enjoy my appetizer. Okay, which one should I try next? Okay, let's do the octopus. Octopus. Well, octopuses are very salty. And it's not from the soy sauce, I know. Okay, I think you guys might think I'm crazy, but I think they're using a different soy sauce. It is actually a little different. Like, it's not for like these like a condiment kind of sauce. It's for like cooking. Cause there are if you guys don't know, there are so many different types of soy sauce. That's for like soup. That's for like stir fry. That's for just like dipping something in. Okay. Let's do this one. Let's do shrimp. Okay, I don't want to drop it in my soup again. Okay, it has to keep boiling. just decide this boils better. Let's do salmon. This is becoming like a sushi mukbang. Okay. I'm gonna try a clam. Oh. I think this one's a short neck clam. There are so many types of clams in this world. They really look alike and they are all different. Okay. Oh my god, I need rice with this. Oh god. I love this a little bit. Okay, let's try. Tong hates. See, okay. One of Tong's favorite food is oyster. Like, he used to live in Boston for like a year, and all he told me was like, yeah, I would go to like every oyster bar and stuff, but he hates cooked oyster. I don't know why. I think these are so good. Sometimes I prefer this over raw oyster. I mean, although I love raw oysters, don't get me wrong, but I feel like these are just as good. I don't even know if I'll get to tofu today. The seafood's so good. Okay, I'm gonna do one more sushi. I'll try tuna. Tuna. I don't think the zucchinis are cooked. Okay, not bad. I'll let this one kind of cool a little bit. Then I'm gonna turn this off. The thing about tofu is that they stay way too hot for way too long. Ah. So I've been thinking about bringing up this topic because it could be, most of the time it's a very heavy topic, I think, but I going to, just for myself, keep it very light. But you know, like for a long time I've been seeing comments where people ask me, when are you gonna have a baby? And so, like, long story short, I never wanted a baby. Or I think like growing up I did, I'm like, because I thought everyone has to kind of have a baby, you know, you get married and then you have a kid. That's kind of like a normal way to live your life back then. That's what I thought. And then I got into a relationship, I got married, and for the longest time I didn't want a baby. I'm like, I don't really like babies. And people were saying like, no, but if you have your own, you're gonna love it. But I'm like, I don't know, but I don't want a baby. Until, you know, like people around me started having babies, and I didn't know how much I would love them. They're so cute. I love seeing how like they look like my friends. So for a while I think I did have a baby fever, and I think I still do. I love seeing like my friends' babies. They're so cute. And I thought like, oh, maybe I do want a baby. Just the more and more I think about it, I don't know if I want to bring another life into this world. And I don't want to guarantee anything that like, oh, I'm never gonna want a baby. Let's say like down the road, like 2-3 years later, and somehow I get pregnant, I'll be very grateful and happy. But as of right now, I don't want that to be part of my plan. I mean, if it happens, it happens. We're open to it, but it's not something that, it's like kind of the bottom of my list. Because I realized that, do I really want a baby, or do I just want to be in that, because everyone said, want a baby, do I want a baby because they're so cute? So, you know, something that Tung and I always talk about, we still talk about here and there, but as of right now, like, we don't really, you know, we're like, it's like not a priority right now. So I wanted to kind of like throw it out there for some people who's really wondering, like, are you gonna have a baby, Kimmy? No, not right now. I don't want, like I said, I feel like the topic can be so heavy, or to some people it's not that big of a deal, but I don't want to give my reasons. Like, I mean, obviously I have more reason why I don't want a baby, and or like why, you know, like why I wanted a baby. I feel like it can be very, like, people can have really different opinions on it, but yeah, as of right now, that's the answer for you guys, whoever's wondering. I'm gonna just take a bite out of this. So at this point, like, for like a little bit, I was kind of like annoyed and irritated when people ask me like, oh, so are you planning on having a baby, or like, oh, when's your time, like you're next. I was kind of getting annoyed for a little bit, but right now I don't really care. I mean, I'll happily answer them and tell them that like, oh, you know, this is what's happening, this is like what we're thinking, and blah 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 blah. So yeah, so I'm very, and I think now, I think it's because I feel very just comfortable with my decision, with our decision, me and, you know, Tom. Oh. Oh, this is so good. Now I'm just turning off my display. My viewfinders are going in and out. I don't know why. Actually, I even talked to my mom about it, and I told her that like, I don't know if I want a baby, and she's like, you know, it's not your decision. It has to be you and your husband's. And you know, that's why I was like, I would like purposely like have a drink with Tong so he could be more honest with me. Like, I don't want you to tell me that you don't want a baby because like I'm saying that. Like, I want you to really tell me, like, you know, do you want a baby or not? But I mean, of course, like, he will be very happy, but at the same time, I think he's very okay not having one either. So, and he said that multiple times, so I want to believe his genuinity, or like his honesty with me, and I believe him, meaning that down the road, if you know, when we're still together like 10-20 years later, I believe him that he's not gonna be like, oh, I wish we had a baby kind of thing. Now, I think my parents are a little different story, because although my mom says that you don't need to have a baby, it's fine, secretly I think she wants me to have a baby. So I do feel bad in that sense, but see, I really like tofu like this, where it's like very like seasoned. I am actually going to have another sushi. I'm gonna do salmon. So refreshing. I mean, when I see people around me with babies, like, there are many moments where I'm like, oh, I wish I had my own. You know, they're so cute, I want to take them home. Like, there are so many moments like that. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm so glad that it's just me and Dong and Ame. So I really, really thought about this, because it's not just, it cannot be a compulsive decision, right? So I really, really thought about it. And yeah. But again, let's go down the line. Somehow Tony and I get so drunk, and like it happened to be that day, and we have great sex, and if I get pregnant, I'll be very happy. But as of right now, it's not part of our plan. I don't want to say no, there's no way I'm having a baby. No, I gotta have a baby right now. It's like not gray, or is it black and white decision for me. So yeah, just wanted to make that very clear. Also, you know, like, I'm not getting any younger, and in a few years, like, it might be really, really hard to have a natural birth. So that's one of the reason why, like, I've been like talking a lot about it with Tong and my mom, because, you know, like, it sucks for women that there's this biological clock going on for us, but for guys it doesn't really, I guess it matters, but like not as severely as women, you know. You know, I was actually thinking this a lot the other day too. You know how like we can have baby on a certain time frame in our life for a woman, and once you have a baby, your body just kind of like deteriorates. All my friends tell me, you know, one thing for sure, your just body will never be the same. So, is that fair? Like, guys, all they have to do, okay, I mean, like, they're just solely speaking on just pregnancy and having baby. All the guys have to do is just shoot. Like, physically, it doesn't damage them. So they don't really have this biological clock. So they could decide later, or they don't really, you know, they could be 40 years old and they could still have a baby as long as the woman can, right? So it kind of sucks that as a woman you have to really make the decision to either you want a baby or you don't. Because if you don't decide, and let's say that you just like forget about it and like you're like 40 years old and like, oh, I want a baby, it's gonna be much harder, you know, physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever. So that, I'm like, that's so unfair. Why are we created this way? I ate all the oysters. So good. And I think because it's such a important, such a big change, it's such a commitment that your opinion, either you want a baby or don't, really has to be your own opinion and your thoughts and your own choice. Because if you make those choices because like someone told you what, you know, or like you see something and blah blah blah, then you better hope that's the right decision. Make sure it's your own. Wow, I'm just like eating all the clams and oysters. I wasn't planning on eating all this, but this is so good. Oh, fine. Oyster. I do have more seafood left, so I think I'm gonna add it after I finish these guys.